Joining me now is Congresswoman Maxine Waters, Democrat from California. And Congresswoman, what is your reaction to some of the things you're hearing from your colleagues on the other side of the aisle about the debt ceiling being fundamentally kind of fictitious or not as bad as scary Democrats are making it out to be?
Well, I'm absolutely appalled at the fact that Speaker Boehner has lost all control. Cruz seems to have reached across the houses. He's running what goes on in the Republican caucus in our House, and he has been referred to as a snake oil salesman. He's leading them to a path to nowhere. Simply, they are trying, and they have tried to negotiate this based on getting rid of Obamacare. That is not going to happen. As a matter of fact, it is the law of the land. It is supported by the United States Supreme Court. People have moved forward as of October 1 to enroll and to sign up. We have a lot of interest in it. They need to get over it. If they want to repeal Obamacare, they have to go through the legislative process to do that. There's a process. This is not how you do it. And the president is absolutely correct. He is not going to negotiate with a gun at his head at a time when we should be dealing with the budget and not trying to overdo the Affordable Care Act.
One of the strategies the Democrats are now pursuing is something a little procedurally anomalous. It's called a discharge petition, and it allows essentially the minority to bring something to the floor if they get a majority of members of the House to sign on to it. There's a little less than 200 House Democrats who've signed on to a discharge petition to basically pass a clean CR. Is there any hope when you speak to Republican moderates, should they exist, of getting the additional 20 signatures you need?
Well, obviously, there's a growing number of Republicans who want to bring a clean CR to the floor. I think they're trying to be patient with their speaker, but increasingly the noise is getting louder. They don't like what they're seeing happening, and so I'm just hopeful that they will be able to convince the speaker that he's got to back away from being led by the most conservative element in the Republican caucus. And I hope that they'll just keep telling him that he's got to bring a clean CR because they're prepared to vote for it. If he put it up on the floor tomorrow, then it would pass.
What's your response to the previous congressmen and others who are saying things like, we've moved past the CR, this is all about the debt ceiling now? Is there any way to stop this shutdown from extending to October 17th?
Well, no, and you can't forget about the CR. I mean, this is where this fight all started. Yes, we're moving toward the debt ceiling. We're hopeful, and I am very hopeful, that we will have taken care of getting a clean CR passed before we get to that point. They should not converge where all of a sudden we're negotiating with the Republicans on both a continuing CR and on debt ceiling.
That's precisely where the convergence seems to be headed, as piloted by John Boehner.
Heading, yes. And the markets are shaky. They're getting nervous. They don't like what's going on. They don't like the uncertainty. And they're putting this country in an possible economic crisis simply leading up to the debt ceiling discussion because they don't like what's going on.
Congresswoman Maxine Waters, thank you so much for your time.
You're so welcome.
Coming up.